Pop quiz. What do you guys think Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton both have in common? They have an address in common, which proves that they are willing to use their power and influence to take advantage of the American people. That address is 1209 North Orange Street in Wilmington, Delaware. This is known as the Corporate Trust Center. Now you're probably wondering, okay, they have an address in common. Do they live together? What's going on? Well, it's a bit more complicated than that. So The Guardian explains, officially, 1209 North Orange is home to Apple, American Airlines, Coca-Cola, Walmart, and dozens of other companies in the Fortune 500 list of America's biggest companies. Being registered in Delaware lets companies take advantage of strict corporate secrecy rules, business-friendly courts, and the Delaware loophole, which can allow companies to legally shift earnings from other states to Delaware, where they are not taxed on non-physical incomes generated outside of the state. The loophole is said to have cost other states more than $9 billion in lost taxes over the past decade, and led to Delaware to be described as one of the world's biggest havens for tax avoidance and evasion. Okay, so I want to stop for a second here and note the significance of this. This is where all the largest multinational corporations go to avoid paying their taxes. It's a tax haven. And so what is it that Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump have in common with this address? I mean, I know Donald Trump's a businessman, but what does Hillary Clinton have? Well, it turns out both the leading candidates for president, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, have companies registered at 1209 North Orange and have refused to explain why. Just 8 days after stepping down as Secretary of State in February 2013, Clinton registered ZFS Holdings LLC at CTC's offices. Bill Clinton set up WJC LLC, a vehicle to collect his consultation fees, at the same address in 2008. The Clintons' companies share the office with several of Trump's companies. Of the 515 companies on Trump's official Federal Election Commission filing, 378 are registered in Delaware. So I want to repeat that. As soon as Hillary Clinton was done being Secretary of State, one of the first things she did was set up a fake company and register it to this address, so that way any of the income she made when she did her big tour giving speaking fees to special interests like the health insurance industry and Wall Street, Goldman Sachs, well, she set up this fake company so she can avoid paying taxes on this income? Really? Now, I'm not surprised from Donald Trump. I mean, it's a little bit embarrassing that of his 500 companies, the vast majority of them are all set up to this address to avoid paying taxes. That's not really surprising for Donald Trump, but I want to read to you a quote from Hillary Clinton. Now, she referred to this type of thing as outrageous, and she also called tax havens a form of perversion. So, what happened? Why the change of heart? See, Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton combined are multimillionaires. They have hundreds of millions of dollars, yet it wasn't enough for them. They thought, you know what? I don't want to pay my fair share of taxes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a fake shill company so that way I can register it at this address and take all the money I make from my speeches there and not pay taxes on it like everyone else does. How unfair is that? How is Hillary Clinton going to take on the corrupt system when she's part of it? She's part of the problem. She claims Donald Trump is part of the problem. You're part of the problem too, Hillary. Now look, I'm not just trying to be overly hard on Hillary Clinton. Donald Trump is guilty just like her. But I'm not surprised that Donald Trump is avoiding taxes. All these free trade agreements that he rails against, he's taken advantage of. Where do you think his ties are manufactured? Not in the United States, in China. Now his supporters will say, well, look, though, he manufactures it there just because, it's a business decision. He can't compete in the United States, so he has to ship them overseas and manufacture them there. Right, okay, so he's not just corrupt. Continue to justify the corruption of Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, though, the two leading candidates in both of their parties. Please continue to justify their corruption. I'm honestly entertained by this. I'll grab the popcorn now. So it's no wonder why 25% of Americans say that they'll either boycott the election or vote third party if it comes down to Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. We have a choice between one crooked politician and another crooked politician. All the things that they rail against, they do. So how can you say one thing and do another? This is the definition of corruption right here. Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump are part of the problem. So the fact that they try to offer solutions as though they care, that they give a damn about normal people like us peasants and plebeians, I find it offensive that they would actually insult our intelligence this much. But again, they both have so much sheepish followers who will follow them no matter what. It's like a cult of personality for Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. You have two people, two competing sides who hate each other, and their followers are just unequivocally in support of their candidate. No matter what they do, no matter how much they mess up, it doesn't matter. They can't lose the support. Donald Trump has said the most insidious things we've ever seen from a presidential candidate, and their supporters will find every single way to justify it. Hillary Clinton is doing things that Republicans aren't even in favor of. For example, the Syrian no-fly zone. But yet, her supporters will justify that. They'll justify her vote for the Iraq war. They'll justify the fact that she was the last person to come around to gay marriage. They'll justify the fact that she won't get on board with universal health care, with legalizing marijuana. All just to support their corporatist candidates. Well, this is why people are angry and think the system doesn't work. So if it came down to Hillary Clinton versus Donald Trump, this would be the worst matchup for a general election in modern history. It'd be terrible. I mean, what kind of choices are these?